Live NFL trivia every Tuesday night on Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern. Come show off your football knowledge and have a chance to win cash prizes. Check the link in the description to find out more. And now, on with our feature presentation. Danny White played 13 seasons in the NFL, all the Dallas Cowboys. And while he had some big shoes to fill having to replace Hall of Famer Roger Staubach, White was one of the better quarterbacks in football throughout the 1980s. Anytime you're a starting quarterback who makes it to the Pro Bowl and wins over 67% of your games while making it to the conference championship 3 times as a starter, you're clearly doing something right. Over his long and storied career, White threw 155 touchdown passes. But there was one that was way gutsier than the others. There was one pass that he threw that seemed like an absolutely boneheaded decision that would have had head coach Tom Landry cussing him out if it didn't work. But somehow, it did. In a 1983 game against the Philadelphia Eagles, Danny White sealed the deal with an unbelievable touchdown pass that under no circumstances should have been thrown. And this is the story behind that play. Before I show the play, we need some context. It's November 6, 1983, and we head to Veterans Stadium for this NFC East rivalry between the Eagles and the Cowboys. This is a pretty big game for both teams. For Dallas, they sit atop the division and atop the conference with an 8-1 record. As things stand just past the midway point, home field is running through Texas Stadium. However, the defending Super Bowl champion Washington is right behind them in the division at 7-2, so there is no room for error if Dallas wants to maintain its lead and home field. As for Philadelphia, they sit at 4-5, and they're just fighting to make the postseason. For that final wildcard spot, there are 2 teams at 5-4, 4 teams at 4-5 including Philly, and one of the Cardinals at 3-5-1. Basically, the final playoff spot is a wide open race, and the Eagles can't afford to lose too many more games if they want to get it. 3 weeks before, the teams met at Texas Stadium, and the Cowboys won handily, destroying the Eagles 37-7. This time, however, it was looking like more of a dogfight. The Eagles started the game off strong, leading 7-0 at the end of the first quarter following a 20-yard pass from Ron Jaworski to Mike Quick. Philly even led 10-0 at one point in the second, though the Cowboys would enter the halftime break all tied up at 10 apiece after Timmy Newsom scored on a 12-yard touchdown pass from Danny White. From there, it seemed as though all the momentum was on the side of the Cowboys, as they led 20-10 midway through the third quarter following a field goal and a 29-yard touchdown run by Tony Dorsett. And after 3 quarters, the Eagles were still behind, though it was just a 1-possession game, as Tony Franklin's 37-yard field goal made it a 20-13 game. If the Cowboys can make it a 2-possession game midway through the fourth, then this one is pretty much over. And they've got an opportunity to do so, as they have the ball in the red zone. Instead, Danny White throws a costly interception. To be fair, White got destroyed on the play by Anthony Griggs, but obviously that's not what you want to have happen. And even if he didn't get hit, I'm not sure anyone was even open on the play. I can't tell whether Ron Springs or Doug Cosby was the intended receiver, but there were white jerseys surrounding both of them. Eventually, the Cowboys get the ball back, still up by 7. There's 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and once again, they're in the red zone. It's first down. A field goal on this drive will absolutely win the game. Just have to play it smart here and not do anything stupid or go off script. Including the playoffs, Danny White made 3,310 throws across his career. What happens next might be the gutsiest throw of his entire career. Roll the tape.
Springs in motion. White. Into the end zone and open, and touchdown Tony Hill. Now that performance by Danny White will just tell you what a good athlete he is.
That's right. You know, they talk about Danny White. He doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. But I'll tell you, he makes things happen. Watch this. It's a screen pass. He's going to try and throw the screen pass to Dorsett, 33 out here. Watch him. He's out there. He's covered. He can't throw it. So he said, okay, I'll scramble a little, look downfield, see what I have. Oh, there's a guy right there. Tony Hill, touchdown. Now, that's a heck of a play. When you call a screen pass in the huddle and you throw a touchdown in the end zone to another guy, that's good awareness.
The initial play was a screen, but the Eagles had that pretty well covered. And because of that, White decided to throw it to Tony Hill for an 18-yard touchdown. Before diving into what White had to say about the throw after the game, I need to list the reasons why this throw should not have even been attempted. If a screen pass isn't there, there's two things you can do in that situation. Number one is just throw it away. Number two is to just go to the ground and keep the clock running since you're up by 7. If you throw it down the field, there's a lot that can go wrong, especially when you throw it across the field like that. You could throw an interception. You could have linemen who are down the field and get penalized that way, pushing you out of the red zone. There's a big reason why many quarterbacks just throw it away if the screen isn't there, and that's because the linemen are already down the field, so extending the play even longer is just begging the referees to throw a flag. You could get sacked and lose the ball, especially since Philly was setting pressure and White had to find a way to avoid it. And remember the circumstances. The Cowboys were up by 7 with about 3 minutes left in the game. A field goal wins it, no ifs, ands, or buts. You snap this ball from the 18-yard line, meaning that if you end the drive with no yardage whatsoever, it's a 35-yard field goal. You have a kicker in Rafael Septien who was perfect on the year from kicks inside of 40 yards, and was 2 years removed from a Pro Bowl and a first-team All-Pro campaign. Conversely, while he was 100% from inside 40 that season, from outside, he hit just over 64% of his kicks. And especially after you threw an interception the last time you were in the red zone, to even attempt something like this and risk turning it over or taking it out of field goal range when you did not have to is just mind-boggling. But as they say, it's only stupid if it doesn't work. The Cowboys took a 27-13 lead on that gutsy play by White, and while the Eagles would score a garbage time touchdown, it wasn't enough, as Dallas would hold on and win it 27-20. And after the game, a ton of the talk was about that play. White was all smiles, saying that the play was a brutal play all the way, and that he admitted that he should have thrown it away. White jokingly said afterwards, "It's the kind of play that Coach Tom Landry would be cussing at me if it didn't work." White somehow had the awareness to realize that the screen wasn't there, then the awareness to scan the pocket, then the awareness to realize that his offensive linemen were not too far down the field, then the awareness to look up across the field and find Hill wide open for the play that would ultimately be the dagger. Pretty incredible stuff, all things considered. Oddly enough, this is not the first time I made a video about Danny White doing something incredibly gutsy, as I made a video about a game he had in 1980 against the San Diego Chargers, where acting as the team's punter, he pulled off not one, but 2 successful fake punts. You can learn more about that by clicking the card in the upper right corner. And this is not even the first time I made a video about a Cowboys-Eagles game from the 1980s at the Vet, where Danny White played a huge part, as I made a video about their infamous 1980 battle that changed the entire course of the season, if you want to check that out by clicking the card in the upper right corner. The season came to a disappointing end for both of these teams. Dallas relinquished their division lead, going 3-3 over the final 6 games before falling in the wildcard round to the Los Angeles Rams. I made a video about that game that you can learn more about by clicking the card in the upper right corner. As for Philadelphia, after starting the season 4-2, they finished it by dropping 9 of their final 10 games to finish at 5-11. Still, that doesn't take away from what White did on this day. An absolutely gutsy throw that had no business being attempted that somehow paid off. White was a bit of a gambler, and especially on plays like this, he showed why that reputation was well earned. Be sure to like this video, ring the notification bell, and subscribe down below if you haven't already, as it helps the channel out a lot. And be sure to check out Twitch every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for your chance to play NFL trivia and win cash prizes. Link in the description below. If you want to see videos like this condensed down to 60 seconds, then follow me on TikTok at JarGator9 and subscribe to 60-Second NFL History on YouTube. Also, special thanks to all of our Patreon supporters for helping the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. See what you can come on Patreon and request future video topics in the description below.